Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. My name is Dave Dubeau. I'm your host, and I just got back from the recent Glazer Kennedy Info Summit in Atlanta. Learned some great stuff, met some great people as usual. They're always fantastic. I'm kind of a seminar junkie at heart anyhow. And I'd like to send out a big greeting to all of our veterans in light of Remembrance Day, which is happening tomorrow. I just want to say that we appreciate your sacrifices, everything that you've done. And it's not just the World War II veterans, the Korea veterans, now it's also all of our veterans coming back from Afghanistan. Hey, you guys, really appreciate everything that you do for us. Help keep us safe, help keep us free. Keep up the good work. All right, so for this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV, for a business breakthrough, I'm going to be talking about evaluating business ideas, some of my thoughts on that. For our real estate tips, we're going to get a visit from Joanne Beaton, one of our valued contributing writers to Canadian Real Estate Profits. And for our Mindset Minute, we're going to visit our good friend, Big Bob Molle. Stay tuned. All right, so talking about business, this week it's a little bit about evaluating business opportunities, because once you've been in business for a while, you'll probably find, as I have found, that opportunities abound. There's always something different that you can be chasing after, always a new project that you can be taking on. The question is, should you? So when I'm looking at business opportunities or business ideas, there are a few different questions that I look at. First of all, should I even get involved in this business? So what I mean by that, does it fit in with everything that I'm doing? Does it fit in with the skill set that I have, that my employees have, that my team has? Or is it something that we're going to have to go through a really big learning curve to get involved with? If it's something with a big learning curve, to be honest with you, I don't want to get involved with. So that's the first thing. Should we do it in the first place? Second thing is, can we do it? Do we have the capability to do it? Do we have the time, the manpower, the skill set, the desire to actually get into this new project, to this new business opportunity? If the answer is no for that, again, it's scrap. And then the third thing that we really want to look at is, if we're going to move ahead, how are we going to do it? What skill set do we need? Like, we may already have the skill set, but it's something different. What do we need to do? What's our plan of action? What's our time frame? And then just to throw something else in there, my experience has been, take your projections, whatever you think the projections are, double the length of time it's going to take, double the expense it's going to be, and chop the profitability in half. If you do all of that and it still looks like it's a good idea, then go for it. And that's how you can evaluate business opportunities. So here we are with lovely Ms. Joanne Beaton, the brains behind Arca Real Estate, definitely the brains behind Ken Beaton. Just wrapped up the 2011 Fast Track Super Conference. Joanne, could you share with us, as one of our very, very valued contributing writers, one of your best real estate management tips or ideas?
Well, I've got a few that I could mention, but I think the one I'd like to mention at this point in time is to remind all property owners to make sure that they're doing their move-in and move-out inspections. So when on move-in day, when you're handing the keys over to your new tenant, you've got a checklist that you've created, and you walk through the property with them. And that stain that's on the kitchen counter, that from a previous tenant having left a pot and burned a spot, you identify that on your checklist. You go through the entire apartment, identify that there is a fridge and a stove there, look for all the deficiencies, things that you don't want to charge that tenant for when they move out, and then you have them sign off that checklist when you leave the apartment. If there's things that are really noticeable, you might want to even take pictures with them, and you're going to put that in their file. Then when it's time to move out, you're pulling that checklist out again, and a couple of weeks before they move out, you're going through the apartment and you're looking for all of the deficiencies that are in the apartment now, and they better not be any more than what's on that list, because otherwise you've got to charge your tenants for that. So if magically there's a hole in the drywall that wasn't there on the check-in list, then you're going to charge your tenant for that check-out list. So it seems like an annoyance to do that, but it's really, really, really important to keep these good records, and that's the way that you get your tenants to pay for the damages that they cause.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Thank you very much for being one of our contributing writers, very valued contributing writer to Canadian Real Estate Profits. And I know you edit Ken's stuff too. So thank you.
Sometimes.
And what if people want to find out more about you and your management services, what should they do?
Our website is www.arcapm.com. That's ARCAPM for propertymanagement.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, I hope you enjoyed Joanne's segment. And for our Mindset Minute, I want to talk about our good friend, Big Bob Molle. Big Bob is one of our valued contributing writers to Canadian Business Profits. And Bob has just come out with his first book, Get Comfortable Being Uncomfortable. So I'm pleased to say that I had a little bit of influence in this, giving him a gentle nudge, because you don't want to push somebody as big as Bob. But I gave him quite a few gentle nudges to get his rear in gear to actually write this book. He's done a phenomenal job. Very, very fun read, quick read, little bite-sized stories, because Bob is a phenomenal storyteller. He's got a fantastic way of taking a lesson from his life, using the story that goes around with it, and making it very, very easily understandable and applicable for the rest of us. So highly recommend you get your own copy of his book, Get Comfortable Being Uncomfortable. You can get that at amazon.ca. But if you're one of our Diamond or Peak Performers members, do not buy this book. Why do I say that? Because I already bought you a copy. That's right. So if you're a Diamond or Peak Performers member of Canadian Profits, you should be getting a copy of this. You might already have it, but it should be coming to you in the mail any day now. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks again for tuning in to this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. And this week is brought to you by the upcoming live Real Estate Peak Performers Bootcamp that Ken Beaton and I are putting on this November 19th and 20th in Edmonton. It's all about creative real estate investing and joint ventures. So if you're interested in that, you can get full details at CanadianProfitsTraining.com. Take care. Talk to you next week.